Hey guys, HellsF1rst here, back with another Corepunk video. So tonight, we're going to talk about the top 3 best DPS in the game for PvE. And this is 100% theoretical, but from what we can deduce so far, this is what it's going to be. So the first one we're going to get into is going to be the Sniper. I know a lot of people are very excited for this class because it has the ability to just do mammoth damage through skill shots. And let's talk about why it's going to do so much damage and why it's going to be so good in PvE. So the Q is firing that quick shot, dealing physical damage to the first enemy hit and reduces their armor for 5 seconds. Now that stacks 5 times, right? So you can reduce their armor by 25, which is huge. And I can't wait to see how much damage that's going to do. Plus, Magnum cartridges from the special is going to make it hit anything else in the pass and slowing them. But the big point here is, if you're in a raid, no matter what, you're hitting the target. It doesn't matter. It's going to be big bastard that you just shoot multiple times and he's going to die. And then the W chambers the cartridge real quick, which you're going to need, and he can do it while moving, which is great. And his attack speed reduces the cast time, so obviously you're going to get some artifacts, boost up that attack speed, make it come back quicker, which is going to be even better. But being able to use it while moving so you can quickly reload is fantastic. Now, another one here, he aims and fires at an enemy. This is going to be a skill shot, right? It's going to bring up the little deal. I'm assuming, like in League of Legends or Eternal Return, it's going to have that little deal moving so you can like see exactly where you need to drop it and you let it go. It's going to reset on enemy kill. So, especially if you save this for a group and you're running through a dungeon and you see them about to kill something, or it's like quarter life and you know you can kill it, boom, you hit that, on to the next one, boom, you can kill that. You're just going to be dropping shit. It's like a long-range infiltrator, but for PvE, right? Because the infiltrator does that in PvP. Great shit. And then with the Magnum cartridges, again, it always deals critical damage. So if you have your crit damage through the roof with whatever build you're using, you're going to hit even harder, guaranteed, which is broken. And then the R gives them the Magnum cartridges, obviously, and the shots gain an additional effect for the next 10 seconds. Gonna do huge. Sorry guys, had some stuff going on in my throat right there. Smoked too many cigarettes. It happens. But yeah, the Sniper, because he can do all this shit and it's all skill shot based, in PvE it's gonna be nuts because things stand stationary. So I think, but I don't think from what I've seen in the videos they're going to be moving around too much and trying to dodge your shots. They're just going to stand still and take it. Especially if you get a tank sitting in front of you, a defender hanging out, and you just blast shit from behind it. It's going to be incredible. This is why the Sniper is going to be huge in DPS and PvE, because it does not need anything except to hit the shots, and you don't have to worry about hitting them when something's standing still. It's going to be fun. I think it's going to be really fun. So there's the Sniper. That's number 1 on my list. That doesn't mean it's the best on the list, just the first one that we've gone over today. So moving on to the next one on our list, which is the Pyromancer, right? Now the Pyromancer is an AoE monster, and it does mammoth damage from range, right? So the Q, throw that fireball from super far away, and if it has the additional effect of magic damage to nearby enemies, the range is increased by 3 meters, which is huge, right? Then you've got, creates a demonic portal for 3 seconds on the W, and it slows everything and pulls them all in. Now it's doing this because it's going to have a mammoth AoE to hit everything around it. Plus, when the portal ends, it does AoE to everything, and it roots everything for 1.5 seconds, just lining it up for the next shot from the Pyromancer to just dominate, right? Then the E dashes through, leaves that trail of fire, hurts everything, and reactivating it puts him back to his starting location. So he's going to be able to bounce backwards super quick, just leaving huge damage everywhere he goes. Plus the additional effect right here, Pyromancer explodes, dealing magic damage to everything nearby. AoE monster. right? I've talked about this before in previous videos when I went over the whole deal for the entire Pain Reaper, and I said that being able to have a burn party, which will exist, parties with nothing but Pyromancers, will just dominate. Just AoE damage dumping on fucking everything. It's just going to be huge. And then things will die. This is going to be the power leveling route. Watch. There's going to be 3 Pyromancers charging people to power level them. If they don't stifle it, they might, but I don't think so. Because in every other game, you can be power leveled, right? Get in a group with a bunch of people, and you jump through real quick, and you just win by power leveling yourself because these guys are killing everything, and you get 1 or 2 shots in on everything. It's going to happen. I'm saying it right now. I'm calling it. Pyromancer parties will be the power level parties of the future. And if it does work that way, I guarantee you, in my guild, we're going to have at least 3 badass Pyromancers to bring people up from the bottom. If you're interested in that, make sure to check the description down below, because you can pop into my Discord and say hello to everybody else who's all in love with this game, just like you guys are. So, on to the R, calling down that meteor, mammoth AoE damage, right, and stunning everything. And its radius is increased by 100% when it's got that additional effect from the heat, which is awesome. And now, you're going to have to be worrying about here, because if you had 100% of that heat meter after using all that stuff, you could die. But I think that's going to be mitigated fairly simply with artifacts and other gear that you can get. I don't know. We're going to see how that works later, because I mean, if every single spell you cast is going to continue raising that heat meter, there's got to be something you can do to cool it back down. Unless it just cools down by standing around, which it might, because they don't explain anything else in these descriptions, but that's what it seems like. I think, personally, this is going to be our number 1. The absolute best, right? Sniper, we'll see where he lands. I'm going to talk about one more after this. But the Pyromancer, I think, guaranteed number 1. No one's going to do more damage than him. However, what we have coming up next here, which is the Shaman, and the reason I think this is because you also have the Wolf Pet, which acts as a tank. Remember? We'll get into it here in a second. So you can leap forward, closing the gap, physical damage, and the next 4 basic attacks debuff the enemy, and that's armor and magic resistance for 6 seconds, and it stacks up to 4 times, and if you have a markup, it reduces the enemy's movement speed by 50%. So, closing the gap, killing all the resistance, just doing mammoth damage. And it's all physical damage, which is sweet, right? And then, of course, you can increase the Wolf's attack speed and movement speed for 7 seconds with a W, which that's going to be huge for having him run out in front of you to hit something. Then you slam forward with this and reduce everything with the next attack. So it's you and your wolf just wrecking face, right? Then the E, the lightning bolt that bounces 3 times to nearby enemies. Now that is based off spell power. But still, it's going to hit multiple things, as well as just hurt the hell out of them because it stuns them for 2 seconds with a mark. Then the R, this is the big one, okay? This is what's going to allow the Shaman to be broken. And I feel like they're going to have to figure out a way on how this works, because I think it makes him broken, right? So he summons the wolf. Wolf's health, armor, and magic resistance equals 50% of the Shaman's spirit attributes, right? So if you just stack spirit through the roof, which you're going to have to do because your wolf is going to be your main deal. I highly doubt you're going to go physical, right? Doesn't make sense to go physical just for one deal here. No, you're going to want to go spell power for the E and the R for the wolf, because it's going to get huge. But it deals physical damage, and when the wolf dies, the Shaman suffers 20% of the maximum health. Oh well, all right, it happens. But here's the deal. If you recast, targeting an enemy makes the wolf bite the target, dealing bonus damage every 4 basic attack, right? So on the 4th one is what I'm taking from this. And if it bites a marked enemy, it restores health to the Shaman, and it taunts the enemy, forcing it to attack the wolf, which is huge because it's going to allow you to do a ton of damage and not worry about it, because you're going to keep having your wolf take the hate back off of you, which is going to be great. And the other two, it's not going to help with damage, but it's nice to have the ability to heal yourself, and you can make the wolf come back to you if you want, which means you can pull with the wolf. Now, I don't know how the pulling is going to work in this, the aggro system is going to work in this, but maybe you might be able to pull 1 out of 6 things and have it come back to you and just massacre it. I feel like that's what it's going to do. Maybe. And then, you know, basic attacks granting a stack up to 5 times. Each increase attack speed by 5%. And max stacks... Can't fucking talk for some reason. At max stacks, the next basic attack deals bonus magic damage and marks an enemy, empowering the shaman's abilities. That's how you get the mark that we're talking about over here. So I think the shaman and the sniper are going to be kind of side by side. The sniper, just like the shaman, they're going to have to figure it out, because both of these are either going to be incredibly strong in PvE, which would then in turn make them gods in PvP, or they're going to have to tone them down so they're not gods in PvP, which will make them kind of weaker in PvE, or they can just change up how things work on both platforms. But I think the order we're going to go in for this video, for my theory on what's happening, is going to be number 1, the Pyromancer, number 2, the Sniper, and number 3, the Shaman. Now, there's a bunch of other DPSs in the game, and some of you might disagree with me on what I'm saying. However, I think, personally, a Pyromancer is going to be unmatched. Just nobody's going to touch him. I also think he might suck ass in PvP. But PvE, it's going to be a powerhouse. So if you're looking to play PvE and you're not really excited about the open world PvP or anything that has to do with the arenas or the battlegrounds, you might want to try the Pyromancer and give him a shot, because he's going to be wanted, I guarantee you, in every single raid and every single dungeon there is. I don't think there'll be groups without him. He's going to be that staple because of the mammoth amounts of damage it can drop. He's a glass cannon. He's the nuker, right? Nuking the shit out of everything. But these other two might also have a spot in those ranks, especially the Sniper. I mean, the Sniper is just a beast. That's going to be nuts. That when nothing can move out of the way, your skill shots aren't going to take any skill, and you're just going to drop damage from the back as well. I mean, I don't know if you want to call a bullet a nuke, because in most of these games, mages are what nuke, but fuck, he's going to nuke shit with his bullets. It's going to be sick. Nuclear fucking bullets. It's going to be awesome. So that's how I rate these guys, and if you guys disagree, please let me know. This is a huge community here. We're just trying to figure out what we think is going to happen, because none of us have a fucking clue besides what we read. So, as always, I'm HellsF1rst, and until next time, ta-ta.